There's the West Coast skipper, Ben Cousins. As I mentioned, a good crowd in, almost 32,000 on hand. A sellout during the week. Tim Gossage, as we welcome you.
Yes, they're a hot item, the West Coast Eagles. They reckon the crowd will get in excess of 40,000, 41,000. There has been a bit of wet weather around. That might keep a few away, but it's a beautiful day for footy. Let's hope the game lives up to it. I'm looking forward to the Bulldogs. I reckon it's going to be a lot closer than many people believe.
Well, we're already just 400 shy of the all-time home and away record crowd between these two sides. So, as we mentioned, they are a hot item. The West Coast Eagles, 3 wins and no losses. The Western Bulldogs not given a huge chance by the punters and the tipsters around the country, Peter Wilson, but for the reasons we've mentioned, this game could be a lot closer than most expect.
Totally agree, Jason. I also think that we're going to see a very physical game of footy. The way they've both been playing man-on-man football during the course of this year, and I think it's going to be a fantastic game to watch.
When you look at the two zones at each end of the ground, the Western Bulldogs attack is ranked second in the competition, up against the best defence in the West Coast Eagles. So second versus first at that end. And then there's a struggle at the other end. The West Coast attack is ranked 13th, up against the 14th defence in the Bulldogs. So at both ends of the ground, they're pretty evenly matched. As we head boundary side for the first time this afternoon, and welcome Lockie Reid.
Thanks very much, Jace. As you mentioned, a sellout crowd here at Subiaco Oval. In fact, the Eagles have all but sold out every game, every home game in season 2005. They're going beautifully. Now, there was a little bit of rain earlier today during the curtain raiser, but that has gone away. The blue sky is out, and we're looking forward to a fantastic afternoon. It is quite swirly. The wind is quite swirly down here. It's heading mainly towards the city end of the ground, so tricky conditions for both sides. A slight advantage for the team kicking towards the city end. I can tell you the West Coast Eagles' key word this week is complacency. They do not want to take the the Western Bulldogs lightly this week.
Thanks, Lockie. Keep us up to date with everything that's happening at boundary side throughout the afternoon. The two sides move to their positions, and the most noticeable one immediately is that Luke Darcy is going to start inside 50 for the Western Bulldogs, and Will Minson in his first game of the season. You see him there with a big crop of hair on the left of screen. Will start as their #1 ruckman, playing just his 6th game. The youngster from Norwood had a terrible time of it last year, played a few games, got suspended for a couple of weeks. His father died, he suffered a punctured lung, but he's back bigger and better than ever in season 2005. He's got a good physical presence about him, Willow, and it's something the Bulldogs need.
He certainly is. Smith also starting up on the wing, has been up forward most of the year. Michael Braun will take him. And Murphy goes to Matera. So the tall and the short of it, it's an interesting matchup.
And Phil Matera starting way up the ground, almost at centre-half forward. They've got to get him in the action. He is almost on his last chance.
Opening bounce, round 4. Eagles and the Doggies at Subiaco. Scott West, we've mentioned his record, astonishing record against West Coast in recent years. Fletcher, Chick, hassled off at Cooney, got one high. Umpire Scott McLaren spotted it. It was against Phil Matera. You mentioned he's an angry man. He started that way. Free kick to Adam Cooney.
Just trying to get into the game very, very quickly, Phil. Just a bit too hard there.
Johnson had to stand and wait. Hunter came the other way. Knocked it down to the advantage of Braun. Now Hunter. Hunter will go over the top. Here is Phil Matera. Gets an early touch. Handball to Wembley. Tucks it under the arm. Puts the foot down. Runs to 60. Goes to the pocket. Lynch. Good clean movement from the Eagles. Tough shot coming up for Quinton Lynch.
The rebound to the half-back line of West Coast. Again, very, very strong. Hunter's been doing it all year.
Booted 3 straight for the season. This will test him. Brian Harris, the miracle man, has recovered to be his opponent this afternoon. He stands the mark 45 metres out. Lynch from right on the 50, starts at left. And that's where it ends up. Minor score. Quinton Lynch on the board. 1 minute gone. Beautiful day. Great game of footy, looking forward to it. There is Brian Harris. Went off with a knee injury. At one stage it was suspected it might be season ending. Then it was a 6 to 8 week proposition, and it turned out to be a 6-day proposition.
Jones has taken Hahn, which is interesting. We would have thought Hahn in the midfield, but starting in the forward line, centre-half forward.
Bulldogs still in their defensive 50. Chip it up. Murphy. Got a problem. Everyone's forward of the ball. McMahon. Hahn goes to ground. Ricochet favours Stengline. Cox down the line. Cousins. Advantage paid. Free kick behind play. Couple of bounces for the skipper. Approaches 50. Hand pass inside to Jones. An unlikely goal kicker, Jones. And there is the proof. He's missed near side. A nice build-up, but again, a couple of turnovers by the Western Bulldogs.
Jones is working forward there. Hahn didn't go with him. spoke about actually Hahn would do that to Chris Judd, move forward and give opportunities to his opposition, and he is the culprit this time.
Well, they throw the football around as much as any side in the competition, the Bulldogs, so that's the one area they need to be tidy on. Reduce the amount of turnovers or the Eagles will make them pay on the wide expanses of Subi. West up the middle to Power. Bulldogs averaging 120 marks a game in the opening 3 weeks. That's a record in the history of stats in football. It shows how much they do share it around. Hanson, handball inboard to Cox, now Banfield. Burse gets him around the waist. Under pressure was Bowden. Hahn to Gian Siracusa, inside 50, one-on-one, Glass and Darcy. Glass anticipated it the better. Took an uncontested grab. To halfback and Hunter. To the sweeping run of Weirpunda up the wing. And Hanson. Exciting prospect for the Eagles. Towards half forward, Grant will come over the top of Cousins and fist it to the line.
Ben Cousins covering a lot of ground and just looking for his direct opposition. I think it's Cooney. He's just giving him miles too much space. Young fella really normally probably used to having tags put on him.
Minson against Cox. Beautiful tap from Minson right into the path of West. Johnson couldn't gather. Cousins to Judd. Goes looking for Phil Matera at half forward. Has got Braun in support and uses him. Can go over the top to Judd. Uses his pace to get around Eagleton. Floated to the top of the square. Tall timber there for the Eagles, but numbers at ground level for the Western Bulldogs. Hargrave to Harris. Out wide towards Eagleton. And it trickles out.
Minson did it pretty well, getting back. The big fella. Big strapping side of lad. But
and he's a goer too, which is what Rodney Eade really likes about him. He loves to get in there and put body on body.
He is built like a proverbial brick outhouse.
The Eagles are doing all the attacking. They're going to go forward again. Hembley allowed to deliver the kick to half forward to float up. Braun didn't read it that well. Smith did. And Gilby has it just backward of left centre wing. Crowd up towards 35,000. Massive underdogs. The Western Bulldogs. Hahn, uncontested at half forward. Now Darcy wants it one out in the goal square. Here he is. Glass wants front spot. Darcy working at him. Judd gets back. Johnson's nearby. Good pressure from Glass. Spoons it up to Chip. And Eagles work it out, although Fletcher's put it down. Strong tackle, Burst, a good tackle. Forces the error. Comes to Darcy. Got it from Power. Left foot, up and under kick. It needs a high mark. Needs courage underneath it. There was a push against Gian Siracusa, but the ball comes back to Cousins down the line. Stenglein, now the Eagles in transition. Took a long time, Stenglein. Poor effort. Eagleton has taken the mark.
Chance for the Bulldogs in the counter punch. Still plenty of numbers back for West Coast, however. So we'll go short to Gilby, who can run to 55. Loads it up and goes long. Does Gilby right to the line? It's a great kick. Bulldogs on the board with the opening goal. Lindsay Gilby took the bit between the teeth. The West Coast players had sat back off inside 50. Gilby decided to go it alone.
Yeah, had guys like Cousins, Judd, all sitting back there just trying to flood that forward 50. And he's just punished that football. And that's the way to beat any sort of screening or flooding, is to use a footy long.
And that's the difference between the Bulldogs winning and losing games this year. Having half a chance and converting as he did there, as opposed to fluffing a few as they have in recent weeks. So good start for the Bulldogs. That'll lift their confidence.
The accurate one, Lindsay Gilby, 5 goals straight this year. First goal on the board. And they'll go forward again, the Dogs, through Cooney. Quick kick. Hunter can defend. And again, Cousins is on his own on centre wing for the third time in this game. He has another couple of bounces, can come in board if he wishes by hand to Wembley. He does so. Wembley, 60 out, will chip it up towards the goal square. Seaby in best position. Should Mark, does he get a free? No. Good pressure from the Dogs' defence. Through for a minor score off the boot of Andrew Embley. Mark Seaby back. Missed the opening 3 rounds due to a hamstring injury. Straight back into the action for the youngster. No WAFL action for him. So the Eagles off target. 3 behinds. Still haven't got out of the last line of defence. He might come back to Harris. And does. Don't tell me they're running down the clock. We've only gone 7 minutes in the first quarter. Here is Harris. Has been herded up well. Now off a step. That's going to be close to the line. Well done, West. Was held and impeded by Fletcher. And Scott West will take possession.
Frustrating football to watch at times, but patient and disciplined football from the Western Bulldogs. They realise they can't afford to turn the football over against these Eagles. Burst to West. Now they break straight up the middle to Darcy. This is what they like to do. Get the ball in the hands of their runners and users. Smith to Eagleton from 55. That's the costly one. Seaby cuts it off. Now the Bulldogs have all run forward to the football. Need to get some numbers back. Burst wrapped up by Hanson. Going nowhere. Ball up.
Very well, Hanson. He had 3 players on there. He just had to halve that football, stop the football, give a contest. Just did it very well.
It was fluid movement from the Bulldogs when they started going forward, but high possession game and only needs 1 turnover to hurt you going back the other way.
Just a bit too slick with their handball there.
Cox got it down to Embley. Judd lurking, free kick over the shoulder coming back to Andrew Embley. Started the season well, averaging 18 possessions, 8 marks a game. Chips it wide. Dean Cox peeled off the contest. Off the left, inside 50. Hargrave at the front. Just led Seaby to the ball on that occasion and took an uncontested grab. Murphy, he's the conduit from defence. Again, patient. Won't rush his options. Waits for the right one to present itself. It's Burst on centre wing. He's got a couple of metres on Embley. Looks up, has got Bowden short. Will go longer towards 50. Gene Siracusa went to ground. That opened things up for Weirpunda. Bowden arrives to put some pressure on. Weirpunda uses Fletcher by hand. Spears the kick towards the wing and Stengline. It was in his bootlaces. Gilby did well. Won the contest. Johnson to the voice of Cooney. Cooney towards half forward. The mark's taken by Gene Siracusa. Looks up. Has got West at 50. Decides to go to the one-on-one. Darcy the target. Works to the front and takes the mark. Luke Darcy from the forward pocket. 25 metres out. Reasonably tight angle. But he is a left footer. And a pretty good finisher. Career record of 157.87. This year he's kicked 3 goals, 1, so can kick a goal for the Bulldogs. We mentioned in the pre-match, Peter, bringing Will Milson into the side allows them to put a target, a marking target inside 50, which is what they've lacked in recent weeks. Haven't taken a contested mark.
He's good both
at
ways.
All last week.
He leads up well too, Jason. He takes a good mark on the lead and just one-on-one when he muscles out. It's a great battle with him and Glass.
Taking his time. Crowd behind the goals tell the story. Misses to the near side, minor score. Promising build-up from the Dogs. They're looking okay early days. Got a terrible record on the road. Won just 2 of their last 19. So a good start here is absolutely vital for them, particularly given they've been pretty ordinary starters this season. Conceded 14 goals to 7 in the opening terms in 2005.
Eagles work it up to the wing. Banfield, the veteran. Embley's getting plenty of it early. Possession 5, not good. Chick has to mop up. Having a good season, Daniel Chick. He's enjoying this, some rare freedom in the midfield. Inside 50, Lynch is the best man, the biggest man there, should I say. Here's West through traffic, too easy, the veteran. Again to Murphy, to McMahon. They work it out nicely, the Bulldogs, and they're going okay. They lead by 4 points. Power. Johnson dropped it, had time. Under pressure, Hahn, quick kick. And here's Gilby, who has already made the distance. The first goal of the game, the only goal of the game, and they're pointing to Lindsay Gilby to say, have another one.
Well, they've got Darcy one out with Glass in the square. His opportunity was there. He should have taken it, just bomb it up there. Because that, the last time they did it, Darcy one out, one-on-one.
So Lindsay Gilby, the accurate one. 5 straight for the year. This will test him from 60. It's gone the distance. It's a goal! Is it? It is! Everybody stopped. There wasn't a lot of reaction from anyone around the place and not a lot of enthusiasm from the Bulldogs, mind you.
It's probably driven from not a great deal of supporters. The Western Bulldogs here at the other end, Tim. Didn't look like it was going to sneak through. It just held up on the wing there. Big kick. That's amazing.
There was little reaction from anybody on the ground. After he kicked out, it was almost like, oh, he's missed this, and they were set up.
Great start for the Doggies. They lead by 10 points. Minson in the ruck against Cox. Sticking to their guns. They've got their game plan at the moment. They're executing. Hahn in over the football. West extracts it from the congestion. Throws it forward, but Embley will get on the end of it. Off the left boot, he's got Braun breaking out wide and uses him. Looks up. Phil Matera's got a couple of metres on Murphy. The kick was awkward. And the opportunity goes begging for the Eagles. Bulldogs growing in confidence, getting hands on the football, using it well.
Hard for a forward to get touch when the midfielders are kicking a football at 5 and 6 metres in front of you with just absolutely no chance to getting that on the full, Phil.
Minson and Cox. Minson backhand towards Eagleton. Fletcher lurking. Tries to fend off to West. Scott West, tough man to break a tackle through. Has claimed the AFL tackling prize more than once in his career.
Going head-to-head at the moment, Fletcher and West seem to be playing on each other majority of the time until the tags start at the actual stoppages.
Scrimmage around this ball. Cox got clean hands on it. Burst and Embley go to ground. Judd and Hahn sweating on the contest and will have another bounce. The Eagles winning it out of the stoppages at the moment. Clearance is 5-1, but the Bulldogs using it the more effectively around the ground.
Minson going back to full forward with Darcy now on the ruck.
Darcy again tried to get it to Eagleton. It ricocheted to McMahon, who then gave it to Nathan Eagleton towards 50. Bowden out of position beautifully by Hunter. Chick tried to slap it towards the sanctuary of the boundary line. Cooney and Banfield throw in.
Percentage football by Daniel Chick, keeping his feet and being strong, just moving the football towards the boundary. Great lesson for youngsters.
Some good one-on-one battles all over the ground at the moment. Darcy got to the front, looking for Hahn. Again, they're getting first hands on the ball a fair bit, the Bulldogs, but they're not getting the clearances.
Little bit behind the play between Cox and Darcy.
Fletcher. He's got some time and space around the boundary line. Spears inside 50. The kick will clear Mark Seaby. Hargrave at the back. Seaby's still a chance. Hargrave's got him by the arm, brings him to ground. Ball still alive. Numbers there for the Bulldogs. And they're a chance. They're away now as Smith goes out wide and finds Sam Power.
Power to half forward. Here's Darcy on the run from 60 metres under pressure. Wapunda in best position. Good pressure from Cox. Those two have been at it, Cox and Darcy, since that last ruck contest. They're like two bulls, head-to-head. Not happy with each other. Wapunda off a step. Now, this is open space. He's kicked to open land, and Hanson's first there for the Eagles, but they're outnumbered, Braun and Hanson. They still retain possession. Change of direction. Braun traverses Subiaco. Heard a voice. Banfield. Still got some speed in the ageing legs. Hand pass to Sampi. Inside 50. The Eagles get there first. Goal!
Midfield run just set up the opportunity. Banfield took off from the half-back line. Just the only thing they had on. If they'd gone forward, West Coast, they had absolutely nothing. They had to go across the ground to find an opportunity. Banfield through to Ang Ashley. And I tell you, he really has been struggling, I think, the last couple of weeks as far as his attacking skills have been going. Defensive side of his game's been good.
Ashley Sampi boots his third goal of the season. He's got 3-6 now. And the Eagles move back within 4 points. Entertaining opening at Subiaco. Darcy and Cox. Darcy again got hands on the football, but it went nowhere in particular. Fletcher. Hunter and now Embley work it round the outer side. Hard lead comes from Cousins at 50. Embley goes around his man, now accelerates away. Andrew Embley steps inside Gian Syracuse, gets run down, just got boot to ball. There's Cousins, puts Cox under pressure. Judd from 55 will go himself. It's high and long to the square. Seaby getting back. Chris Judd on the run. Mark Seaby just watches it sail over his head. And the Eagles are in front.
Good work. For great one-on-one going on here between Embley and Power. Power's jumping up and getting plenty of the football, has 6 possession, but Embley also now starting to really jump up for West Coast and give opportunities. And that goal from Judd, I'm not too sure if he was going for goal. I think he was trying to set that up for Seavey.
A bit gun-shy in declaring what Chris Judd has kicked so far this year, but I've worked it out to be 2 goals for, because I'm reliably informed that Lindsay Gilbey has kicked a point this year. I have to check my stats, man. It is the Eagles second, and they take the lead by 2 points. Entertaining game of footy. The Dogs certainly not being blown away as Seavey wins it down. Johnson missed it. Hansen been good out of centre half forward. Ball will be held to him. We'll have a bounce on centre square line on coach's box wing. Hansen, 8 goals this year. Long search for a key forward in form of the Eagles may be over. Hahn swats it down. Banfield been very good and clean. Fletcher, right foot kick, that'll test him. Seavey waited for it, bounced off his chest. Now Chick is running for him out wide. Selwood took a long time. Eventually gets it to half forward. Cousins backs out of the pack. Well done, Gilbey, under pressure and then intelligently just toe-poked it forward. Bowden trying to get a handle on it. He's besieged by Cousins. First kick down the line. Chicks run forward of the play again. Inside 50, Hansen presents, goes at it one-handed. Under pressure, ball spills. Braun, here's Matera, needs a goal badly. Up and under, didn't strike it that well. Hargrave with courage, back with a fly, did well. McMahon, brilliant stuff from Hargrave for the Dogs. Works it to the boundary line. Darcy wants to come by hand to Gian Syracusa. They've got numbers and time. Has a bounce, looks up, can go to West. Running hard for him, Murphy. The Dogs can work it. They come to 50. Murphy can line up from 50 to really finish it off nicely. Murphy kicks on goal and puts it through. Well played, Ryan Hargrave. A long way back and a long time ago, but great courage from Hargrave to commit himself to that. And Chris Grant is certainly going down and commending the Bulldogs defence who set that up.
Just good run from Murphy as well. He's gone forward there. Just no one to him because Rowan Smith was by himself. Daniel Chick had pressed forward. The turnover caused by Hargrave really was fantastic. And Smith really was a spare man. So it just allowed Murphy the total run into the forward line.
It's a hard running style of football the Bulldogs play, isn't it? They do run themselves into the ground. They have been excellent finishers in games. The starts have been the problems for them this year, but they've started well today. They lead by 4 points. Judd, high ball towards 50. It's heading out towards the line. And no danger there for the Bulldog defence. Johnson just looking a little proper getting up from that contest. And there is Ryan Hargrave. Fantastic effort going back with the flight. A couple of minutes back, which set up ultimately the Robert Murphy goal. Bulldogs been efficient going forward, taking their chances. Been inside 8 times for 3 goals, 1 in the opening term. Darcy against Seavey. Braun at the back, lurking danger. Judd, Banfield. Now Cousins can get back on the right. Standing start from 45. Got it! Well worked off the stoppage from the Eagles. Cousins had the time and the poise just to balance himself. Only needed a step, but didn't blaze away. Took his time, realised he had some of it and put it through.
Some of the rotation the Western Bulldogs are having at the moment in their midfield, with Smith, Hahn going back and forth from the forward line. Also seeing Johnson going forward is now giving the West Coast Eagles midfielders more opportunity in stoppages to get a lot of footy.
Fifth lead change in 21 minutes. Ben Cousins, second kick, first goal. West, Sampi tried to bullock his way through.
Interesting to watch this bounce now, just to see if there really is some man-on-man stuff going on. Fletcher and West hand-on-hand all the time there.
Cox and Darcy, they don't like each other, no doubt about that. Stengline, quick kick out of the scrimmage to half forward. Here's Grant through his legs. Hargrave under pressure. Hansen, the quick give, too quick. Here's Adkins. Received the handball. He's missed 35 possessions in the WAFL. John Worsfold making it a clear statement. Reward for effort. Been very good, in fact, for the first 3 weeks in the WAFL. Should have done better, mind you, with that.
Yeah, that's where he just lacks off, Atkins. He needs to just find that little bit of polish. He tends to just not think it through and take his time with his disposal. Just a little bit too quick getting it on.
Talk about the Bulldogs' hard-running game. Gilby's booted 2 goals and he's kicking in from full-back. They do move it around and Murphy's the other one. Here's Fletcher, sneaks away from Johnson, steps Hargrave and bangs it through. Chad Fletcher on the board. And the West Coast kick away to a 9-point lead. The biggest of the game so far for them. Well, we've seen in modern day football, the zones from the kicks in, they've got to be accurate because the opposition is so well drilled to punish turnovers.
I just don't think that option was on at all. I mean, he was covered everywhere at that time. It's just silly footy. I mean, you just can't afford to do that, he said, Jace.
So Gilby's still a goal in credit. He's booted to himself and now he's give one away.
Four of the last 5 goals. West Coast, Ryan Griffin on for his first run, has lined up at centre half forward. Going to go for it again here, West Coast. That kick didn't really connect from Fletcher, the right footer. Butler, also fresh onto the ground. Ordinary kick, Hansen did well, front spot. Through the legs of Lynch. Gilby, quick kick. Would like the boundary line, they find it. They're under pressure all of a sudden, the Bulldogs' defence again.
Gilby looked up, saw he had power on, saw him, went for him, but the pressure from West Coast just made that football turn over.
Hansen coming off the ground. Jamie Graham, 2 kicks, his first 2 kicks, 2 goals last week in the Derby. Minson does well, wins it down. The Dogs now will run it out. Chain of hand passes, Smith, West, Kearney. He bounced it, didn't come back to him. Got time. Hahn. Open forward line. Darcy knocks it on intelligently. Here's Griffin, 55 out, throws it on the boot. What a great start for the young fella. 1 kick, 1 goal. Another one in the club. First kick in AFL footy is a goal.
How quiet is this game of football when the Western Bulldogs actually kick a goal? There is just no reaction. I don't think I've heard this since West Coast versus Essendon at Windy Hill about 12, 13 years ago.
The Eagles didn't kick a goal, did they?
That would be the reason.
Correct, to kick the one.
Big raps on Ryan Griffin as a classy midfielder, and he shows why. His first kick in league football. Look at the poise, off 2 steps from outside 50. And again, the Bulldogs take their chance.
I love how he's a midfield. He's 187 centimetres and renowned for being hard at it as well.
Minson against Cox. Bulldogs structure working well. It's going to be whether they can run this hard for 4 quarters. In testing conditions at Subiaco, warm conditions.
I know the wind swirls inside this venue, but it is certainly favouring the West Coast Eagles end, and it's very, very strong. So if there's any advantage, it's certainly going left of screen.
Minson and Cox. Massive plays around this contest again. Great space into both forward lines, and the Bulldogs might be the chance to exploit it. Johnson kicks into open space, but Butler will get there first for West Coast. Looks up, can go down the line to Braun. Smith closing late. Free kick. So Michael Braun coming up for his 7th touch behind Fletcher with 8. While West has 9 for the Bulldogs. Just goes about racking up the numbers against the West Coast Eagles. Inside 50, Mitson over the top was spectacular and effective. Got it to the line.
Johnson and Smith, the Bulldogs, really have had a large play to play as far as the forward line's concerned. Just doing a lot more work in the midfield. A lot better balance, Western Bulldogs today with that extra tall.
Minson and Cox. Cox at the front. Minson got over the top and got the tap, and illegally said the umpire over the shoulder. Difficult to know as a ruckman what you can do if you caught behind in that position, and Dean Cox has got his arms around Will Minson. For Minson to try and get over the top. There's Cox. He and Minson holding each other. Minson had hold of his arms. Minson comes over the top, makes contact with the ball and gives away the free kick.
Well, it's just, it's a proven thing. You play in front and you're going to get the free kick in the ruck contest this year. They've played anything even close to being high or contact to the head is a free kick.
Stands 204 centimetres and the best part of 105 kilos. So once Dean Cox does get to the front, it's pretty hard to move him. And from 50, he likes it off the boot, pumps the fist for a goal. Relatively soft goal in the context of the game so far. Dean Cox will take it. He's booted 5 straight for the season, and the Eagles back out to a 9-point lead.
Yeah, well, I guess Minson coming in for his first game this year.
See that left arm, he's got him around the back. It's impossible for Minson to get anywhere from that point onwards.
Yeah, again, you've just got to play front spot. He's probably been playing down at Werribee, the local league, just not used to the man-on physical pressure that you're going to get with someone like Cox.
Except that, the umpires around the other side of the contest can't see the arm.
Somewhat of a lucky goal from a disputable free kick, but they'll take it, and they lead by 9 points, the West Coast Eagles, and Dean Cox is certainly getting under the skin of a couple, and now he's given away a free kick. Luke Darcy has got to come back and take the free kick, and gee, Matthew Head, the umpire, caught one in the face too. The player running past, he got a ricochet as well. Feeling the best. They're away then too, but Luke Darcy just couldn't take that ball to actually dispose of it properly. Comes out wide, forced a long way out. Gilby, a couple of goals under his belt. 90 seconds left in the term. Entertaining game, 9-goal quarter. Eagleton still in the centre square. Subiaco bathed in sunshine.
Got to look for Hahn here. He's got a very uneven match up there with Adkins.
He's off his line. He's been forced to play on. He's coming, looking for a Shepherd. Inside 50. Darren Glass runs it over, and low percentage stuff there from Nathan Eagleton.
And no right foot from Eagleton, so working the angles, Willow, he had no choice but to kick it across the face of goal to that pocket.
Yeah, maybe just a little work being done on the opposition player, knowing it's going to be very difficult for a one-sided player to go out that way.
Cox and Minson have to question. They were both again wrapping each other up in that contest. Same umpire. This time no free kick.
So Minson doing his best to get to the front. You can see that now. And up side by side. Cox got the hit out. Cousins taken down. Cooney lurking, got hands on the football, couldn't dispose of it. Umpire said he threw it. He had one arm held as he gathered possession. The free kick will come back. Stengline wants to switch towards centre half back. He's got a man in space. It's Selwood. They break down the outer side now. Beautiful kick from Selwood, tidy onto the chest of Weirpunda. Now Braun runs on as well. Create the loose man. Smith closing. Braun spears it towards Lynch inside 50. Matera lurking at the back. Wants to burn off his opponent. Gets taken down. Good pressure, but still there for Adkins. Throws it out towards Braun at 55. Weirpunda steps inside Gilby. Goes to the banana from 50. Weirpunda kicks a goal! What skill! Right on the siren. And for all the hard work and hard running of the Western Bulldogs, that goal to David Weirpunda, a 55-metre banana off one step, if you don't mind, and the Eagles lead by 15 points.
Absolute heartbreaker on the siren, just going forward. They did everything right, the Western Bulldogs. Going to smother, just corralled the player. Unbelievable kick.